QuickBooks and bookkeeping. So this is a part that many entrepreneurs don't really care for in their business, doing the cash flow management, the QuickBooks, the bookkeeping piece. But I guarantee you that the phenomenal Crystal Mitchell will really, really make it easy and simple for you guys, okay? So without further ado, first of all, I want to kind of remind you guys about your homework assignment for last week. Last week we did certifications and we went over quite a few certifications. I sent you guys a lot of documents, paperwork, and links. And the homework assignment was for you guys, one, to plug your zip code in the hub zone to see if you're in a hub zone. So I want you guys to send me an email, let me know if you did that and if you were in a hub zone or not. And also, I also recommended that you guys do at least two of the easiest certifications that we presented. So please, you know, if you guys want to become certified, then just contact me and I'll guide you on that, okay? So without taking much of Crystal's time off her agenda, I'm going to go ahead and introduce her or hand it over to her. She'll do an introduction of herself, tell you a little bit about her background, and she'll jump right into the QuickBooks program. So, and just so most of you know, Crystal Mitchell is my co-host. We run the Business Zone. We have a podcast. It was a radio show before, and now it becomes a podcast because of the pandemic. We do this every Friday from 3 to 4:30. So many of you on this call today can appear on our show as a guest. So we're inviting small businesses to talk about their business so we can help to promote you so other customers can know about you. So that's what we do. If you guys are interested, send us an email or put something in the chat and we'll get you on the show. So without further ado, I want to introduce or hand it over to my one and only co-host, Crystal Mitchell. I call her Superwoman. So you'll see later on. Crystal, it's all yours.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Glad to be here again. Welcome. This is a topic that's very sexy to me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but anytime it comes to counting my money, anything that helps me do that is always sexy to me. So I hope you guys will find that to be the case at the end of this session as well. So a great deal of you already know who I am, but I will introduce myself. You guys can see my screen, right? You can put your questions and comments in the chat room. I will answer whatever questions you have. So my name is Crystal Mitchell. I'm a business coach and consultant. I am the CEO or founder of Mitchell Business Solutions. I also co-direct Recycling Black Dollars. You all should know that. I am a financial business strategist to the extent that I help you decipher and troubleshoot through your accounting software and find out where your money is and where you're overspending your money and producing product financials that can help you get lending funding for your business. I'm a troubleshooter. Generally, I am called in because there's been no accounting in place, or you have a tax audit, or you owe money to the IRS, or you couldn't get a loan. So someone in this community will reach out to me and ask me to get your documents, get your financials in place so that they can get financials for you. So that's kind of who I am. Quite a few of you have I've helped you get your books together, and some of you I probably will be called on after this class. I am also, as Gilbert said, I'm the the co-host of the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. I also do another podcast on Thursday at 11 a.m. called the Community Briefing, and we have our leaders and stakeholders in the community come on to talk to and inform and keep our community aware of what's going on out there. And then I guest on another show called Communications on the Patio. And there we talk about all things to do with retirement, because one day we all will want to retire, even if we're entrepreneurs. I'm a certified adult and youth entrepreneur educator, and I've been in business for over 30 years. I provide resources and tools and mentorship to our small business community to help you grow your business. So whenever you need me, I am here. Someone knows how to reach me. I teach and train for multiple organizations in the city. All righty, so you guys know who I am. And if you want to know anything else about me, go on to my LinkedIn or my Instagram or my Facebook page, and you'll find out everything you need to know about me. So let me ask this question. What business are you in and how long have you been in business? You can use the poll here called Slido. You can just plug in on your computer, slido.com, or you can just put it in the chat. How long have you been in business and what business are you in? All righty. Hello. All right. Catering, 9 months. Beauty and self-care, 2 years. Okay. Brick and mortar, publishing company, electric. All righty. Cool. Awesome. How many people actually are using some sort of accounting system, whether it's QuickBooks, Wave, something? Texture is QuickBooks, Wave, QuickBooks, Wave. Nada. Okay.
Oh, that's a software named Nada?
Nada. Oh, I forgot. Excel spreadsheet. Is that someone's accounting software as well? Nothing.
That's Nada. The Excel spreadsheet is Nada. That's funny.
All righty. Okay, well, hopefully we're going to get you out of the spreadsheet and into an accounting system. So I'm going to share with you what that will do for you and how much easier your life will be. And you probably will receive hugs and kisses from your tax preparer, your CPA, because you won't be sending them stuff that they have to decipher. All righty. So thank you guys. I'm glad to know you all. Appreciate you being here. So let's talk first about what scratches of paper. Okay, that's even worse than an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So the class tonight, we're going to talk about first thing first. I was teaching this class earlier today, and they were a little bit disappointed because I didn't go right into QuickBooks. But here's what I have found over the years, and I'm going to say 30 years. I have been training and utilizing QuickBooks myself since 1988. Yes, I was a child when I started. But since 1988, and I have taught and utilized this system on every type of business under the planet, from mom and pops all the way up to companies that are trading and active in the stock market. In fact, right now I'm working on a client that we're super excited. They're getting ready to go public, and all of us are going to New York to ring the bell. So, and for that level of business, you have to have your financials together. But even for your level of business, you have to have your financials together. So first, we're going to talk about understanding business financial literacy, which is really, really important. We always talk about literacy just on a personal level, but I think a lot of our issues as small businesses is we just don't understand. We don't understand money, and we don't really understand that component of it. So we're going to talk about that first, and then this presentation is about the basics of accounting and bookkeeping. You're going to learn some technology and best practices. Also, we're going to talk about the accounting software and which one is the best one for your company. And you're also going to learn about how you can use this software to manage the financial structure. Everyone's goal here, we all have some sort of fantastic idea about the business that we're in. We're all excited about it, but the end of the day, what we have to do is get excited about making sure that the financial structure is healthy, and that because when it's healthy, then your business is healthy. It's like building a house with an insignificant foundation. The first wind that's going to come along, depending on where you are, is going to blow your house over, like the tornadoes in New Orleans right now. You have to have a strong foundation, and it starts with your financials. So doesn't matter where you are in your business, whether you just started yesterday or you've been in business for the last 15, 20 years, you have to understand where your numbers are and how you got there. I was listening to Warren Buffett. He's become my new best friend, and him and Charlie Munger, I've been listening to videos on them, and it all comes down to making sure you have a solid company that is based upon understanding how your business runs, how money functions in your business, and how you need to function with the money in your business. So 5 financial skills that all business owners must master is understanding financial statements. They tell you so much about your business. We learn all kinds of skills in order to run the business that we have, but we need to really be focusing on our financial story. So the financial statements tell a story about your business and how much money you make and how much money you're spending. Bookkeeping gives you a snapshot of the financial health of your business, and it allows you to strategize and forecast for the future, analyze your spending, as well as set budgets and identify high growth opportunities they may be coming your way. And that's the other thing. Gilbert was saying you guys were talking about becoming certified. So if you become certified and you complete an RFP and you get awarded that contract, then you need to know how you're going to pay your subcontractors. You need to know how you're going to pay your employees. You need to know first, can you even service the contract? And in order to do that, you have to know where your numbers are. So good bookkeeping improves your tax prep. It helps you manage your business. It helps you if in the event that you have to prepare for IRS audits. Any question that is ever asked of you, you will be able to go to your system, generate a report, and give them an intelligent answer. If you're going to look for funding for your business, when you go, I'm not sure, possibly, approximately, I made, they're not going to give you a loan because they don't think you're going to have the money to pay them back. When you go, wait, let me get you my profit and loss statement, and you hand it to them, then they know that you're serious about your business. Budgeting, knowing how much you're spending, knowing where you're spending this money over any given period of time in your business. I don't know if you guys attended the cash flow class that I taught a month or so ago. Understanding how money flows through your business, what your high tides are, what your low tides are. Being able to create profits and understanding the business's longevity. This happens when you actually forecast and budget, and that should take place every year. And then invoicing, getting paid is a must in business. If you are not getting paid, then I'm not quite sure you have a business, because in my world, I love the warm and fuzzy parts of my business, but if I'm not getting paid, I'm not a happy camper. So making sure that you are providing and have a good system for invoicing that is a solid strategy, ensuring that you get paid on time, allowing you to track late payments and send automatic payment reminders. That's the best thing in the world, because sometimes we just get so busy and we have invoices that are just sitting out there and you're not getting paid on it, but your bills are coming in, right? And so now you can't even pay your bills because the invoicing is, your invoice is not coming through. And then most important is making sure that your business is growing, and that at that point you're going to have needs for financing and possibly buying the real estate that your business is housed in. Business credit is a measure of your business's ability to pay its debt, and it's used by lenders to assess the risks of them actually providing you with funding for your business. So these are really major skill sets that one needs to have when you're running a business. It's great that you have the skill to provide the product or the service that you have, but it's even better if you know how your numbers are running. So excuse me, building business credit. The first thing we have to look at is, and I'm sure you guys have heard this by anyone in the financial world, keeping your business and your personal finances separate. I talked about that in the cash flow. This is so important, not commingling your monies. It makes everything easier. Paying yourself so that you're not drawing money out of the business. So when you do go to prepare your taxes, you don't have to sift through and decide what's personal and what's business expenses. It avoids inaccurate tax filings, and it also it makes you a better prospect if you are looking for funding from an outside lender. Incorporating your business, don't need to go into that. I'm sure Gilbert have talked to you about that. But that is part of building your credit. Being smart about your debt, making sure you understand how you're using your business credit card or your line of credit. And these are the fastest ways to build credit, but you want to create this independent company that's independent of you, that has buying power and credit power. So being smart about your debt, really going back and looking at your expenditures and making sure that you are paying for things that you're using and eliminating things that you're not. And regularly monitoring your business credit, not waiting until you're applying for a loan to find out that, there's some dings on your credit that you didn't know about, or something happened that you didn't know about. So being more proactive about the whole process. As you guys are building it, I'm sure a lot of you have already been in business. You've all been in business for a while, it seems. I hope you all have a team. Do you have your attorney? Do you have your accountant? Do you have your bookkeeper? And if you're not using an accountant to prepare your taxes, do you have a trusted enrolled tax agent that is current with today's tax laws? Not just any old body, but someone that you sat down with and reckon they understand your business and how you're doing business. And they also understand that you want to grow your business, and they understand you have goals and aspirations for your business, because this is the team that you sit down with when you decide that you want to buy the office building, the building that you're in, or buy a business building to house your business in. You want all these guys involved because they're all part of your team. And so if you don't, then you need to acquire them. Don't mean you have to put an attorney on a retainer, but you do need to have one, because legal stuff happens all the time. And that CPA, that accountant person, that person can help you with opportunities that are on the horizon. They should know about your business. So if you have a question, then you don't have to go through and explain to them who you are, what you are, and what you're doing. They already know this because they have a relationship with you. So it's about that relationship. So let me tell you what the different roles are. So the accountant, this is the person who actually sits down with you and helps you do tax planning. He actually helps you do forecasting. He or she helps you stay in compliance with the federal government. They will represent you in any in any tax audit that you may be called in. But not only that, they will be the ones that will do the validation of your business. They will help you sell your business if you are at that place. And sometimes they bring you some amazing investment opportunities because their clients are looking for ways to save money on their taxes. The bookkeeper, this is that person that is going to do your everyday, the ordinary task of maintaining the financial health of your business. That person is really preparing all the reports and so forth that you then will take to your accountant and or to your tax preparer. They're not necessarily qualified CPAs, but a lot of them are. A lot of them have their accounting degrees. A lot of them, they just may not be CPAs, but they prefer the more the tasks of doing basic accounting as opposed to some of the other aspects. Me personally, I don't like doing taxes, but I love the bookkeeping part. So the bookkeeper's duties are making sure if you have a full-time bookkeeper housed in your business, they're going to make sure payments are going to your vendors. They will invoice your customers. They will record payments and make deposits. They also will process your payroll for your employees. They will balance the bank accounts and prepare financials. If you have an external consultant that's doing your businesses, then they won't be doing it on a day-to-day basis, but they will come in once a month or every other month to do it, or in some cases, it's at the end of the year or just before you get to the end of the year, because you may not be able to afford to have a full-time bookkeeper. You may not have enough work for that person. So these are the titles when you're looking to hire. You're either hiring a bookkeeper that has some knowledge of basic bookkeeping, a full charge bookkeeper has knowledge of all aspects of the accounting systems and the accounting functions. So that person may be that will have AP, accounts payable, accounts payable, accounts receivable skills. They will be able to process payroll. And then the other auxiliary staff, if you were in a big company or you guys actually had a big company, would be an accounting secretary, a finance clerk, or an accounting assistant. So those are the common titles within the financial world for bookkeeping and accounting. What's the difference between the two? I think I've already told you. Bookkeepers do the ongoing and keep the upkeep of your business, and the CPA operates in advisory and analytical nature, but they work together as a team. A lot of times the bookkeeper will provide all of the data, do the ongoing day-to-day primary duties, and then they interact with the CPA when it's time to do your annual tax compliance or whatever that is. There's definitely a misconception that they're one and the same. They are not one and the same. One thing that distinguishes the two is that the bookkeeper will probably, if he or she is external or consultant, they charge you anywhere from $75 to $85 an hour in order to provide the services that they have. If they're internal, you usually will pay a bookkeeper between $30 and $40 an hour. And let me tell you guys something. I know we like to go, if you're hiring a bookkeeper, you get what you pay for. That's all I'm going to tell you. So if you're going to insist on paying them $15 an hour, you're going to get $15 an hour type of bookkeeping. And that means you're going to end up having to pay someone else to come in and fix it, unless you have someone train them. But if they are training them, because on an average, a good bookkeeper, even for you to hire, will cost you somewhere between $25 and $40 an hour. So it just depends on their skills and how long they have been in business. And the accountant, on the other hand, you don't want him to do your basic business. He is going to charge you anywhere from 1.25 to 425 or 450. He went to school to get paid for a lot of money, so he's like your attorney. So you really want to use him when you want financial advice, when you have some major things going on in your business. If you're trying to take your business to that next level, that's when you want to incur that cost, but you don't want him to do your bookkeeping. And all he's really going to do is he's going to farm it out to a bookkeeper. So you might as well just cut out the middleman and hire someone yourself. Let's see, Rhonda says, have you ever heard of work with a CPP? What would that be? Certified public accountant? Or practitioner? I don't know if I've heard that term before. Then you also have your major payroll clerks that really do everything and all things and understand HR. They understand the California laws with for employees and the taxation, and they stay on top of that. So those are kind of the individuals that are part of your team and there to help you maintain financial healthiness in your business. All right, so let's jump over to some terminology. This is important as well. But before we get to the terminology, because it's hard to have a conversation with a financial person. What about all service companies that do all booking and accounting? Is that like managers, Ricardo? Well, or that's their business. So to explain that comment for me and I'll see if I can answer it. But before we go, so here's the thing, accounting and has its own, the financial world has its own terminology and language. So when you sit down with a banker and they're talking accounting or they're using their lingo, it's really good to understand a little bit what they're saying so that you can certify payroll professional. Yeah. It's really good to understand what they're saying so that you could answer them, give them a response that's going to make them think that you understand what is going on in your financials. So it's good to know the terms. Rhonda, for the certified payroll specialists, those are usually the individuals that are at ADP and paychecks, and that they pretty much everything they do is surrounding payroll. And so that's usually those individuals. Outside of concerns of this is checks and balances. Yeah, it's good to have checks and balances. So understanding their terminology, understanding the basics of the accounting is a fantastic thing for you, the consumer, for you, the small business owner. So 7 reasons that accounting systems is a must for everyone's business. 1, you get a simpler bank reconciliations, which will make sure that every dime is counted, whether it's coming in or going out, but it's balancing against the checkbook is really, really important. I know you all think that your bank never makes a mistake, but let me be the first one to tell you that is not true. Easy monitoring of your financials so that you don't have to find out something horrendous at the end of the year. You can monitor it during the year. There are people nowadays, especially, that are being hacked. We're using a lot of outside payment sources, and something can happen, and your accounts can be hacked, and you may not know it if you're not monitoring your system. So because of a lot of the accounting software today, it has direct bank feeds from your bank to the software. So you can go in every day to see what's going on and make sure that the transactions that are coming through are actually yours and not someone else's. Being able to have your customer's historical data and the aging of invoices and the aging of your invoices as well. So having customer aging reports, having vendor aging reports, which is you paying your vendors, formalized financial statements that you don't have to manually put together from that Excel spreadsheet, or as Ricardo says, scraps of pieces of paper. And you don't have to take forever to be able to generate that financial report when someone asks you for it. It also provides you with a history of your business. If you've been in business for 5 years and you have had a system for 5 years, you can go back and literally see how your business has grown. And most importantly, having audit-proof books. I don't know if any of you have been involved in an audit at any given point in time. It is not a pleasant experience. You and certain businesses, for the funding and grants and things that they acquire, some entities require you to have audits. I've participated in several audits, in nonprofit audits. It was brutal the first time I did it. The second time I made sure that every I was dotted, every T was crossed, and that there was notes and memos on everything so that they did not have to ask me any questions. Whatever they wanted to find out, it was right there in the register, in the books, on some report. And so that's what you strive for, is having other people who are going to look at your books, have them be able to look at it and not ask you not one question. That's what I always strive for. But having a basic understanding of your books, understanding how you make your money, how sometimes you can look at your books and solve multiple problems that you have. You don't have to love crunching numbers, but you do want to have a desire to understand every aspect of your business. Any questions? I got a couple of them here. I have a different bookkeeper. Are there services that they offer? I'm not quite sure of those questions. Let's see. Oh, there was another question. Oh, no, those are statements. All right. So financial statements. Everyone has to know that at some point in time in your business, someone is going to ask you for a financial statement, and it's going to be a balance sheet. They're going to be asking for an income statement. They're going to ask you for a cash flow statement. They're going to ask you for an aging report, or they're going to ask you for an AP aging report. Your CPA may ask you for trial balances. So these are some of the words that you may hear. I will go into more detail further on in the presentation as to what each one of them what each one of them are and what they look like. Here's some terminology. Accounting methods. You may be asked that question, what is your accounting methods? You can't go, I don't know. So if you are a service-based business and you are providing invoices to your customers or your client, and they're going to pay you on some sort of terms that you guys have set up, that contractually that you guys are agreed upon, then you are operating from an accrual-based accounting method. And that's basically producing and creating invoices that you at some point will get paid on based upon your mutual agreements in the contract that you signed or you both agreed upon. The next one is operating in a cash basis. And so a cash basis is actually exchange a product for cash. And so you receive your payment instantaneously right then and there. Can you operate from both a cash accrual, from a cash basis and accrual? Yes, you can. It just is a matter of when you run a report, what is going to be generated in that report. Cash flow. If you guys were here before and participated in the workshop I did on cash flow. So the cash flow is tracking income coming in from 3 different areas: your operating activities, your investment activities, and your financing activities. And this is usually the net amount of cash that an entity is receiving or dispersing during any period of time. So there's a report that actually lets you know exactly how your business's money is flowing through the business. And as I said in that workshop, the cash flow is the oxygen in the blood of every business. Without it, your business does not survive. Capital, this is your investment to your business. And it will be, you will see your owner's equity and capital listed on your balance sheet. So there's actually, you can see how much money you've invested in your business. And at some point in time, if you are going to sell your business and you want to recoup the money that you invested in your business, you can have that included in the valuation and the payment of the purchase payment of your business. Cost of goods, these are those production of goods that you're going to sell. This is the raw materials and that you need in order to produce the product that you are selling. And it is deducted from the gross revenue of the business. And you're then working from the net profit as you subtract out and deduct your expenses so you can get your gross margins and profit margins. The chart of accounts. The chart of account is the working mechanics of all accounting systems. It's kind of that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. If you have garbage chart of accounts, then you're going to get garbage reports. So this is a science here, in my opinion. When you have making sure that your chart of accounts are customized for the way you do business, then when you get your reports, they will reflect how you do business. So most accounting systems have a generic, but you have to go in and customize them to reflect your business. Okay. And so you have to put some thought into this. This just doesn't happen. You want to make sure you think about your business and what you want your business, and you want those reports to relay to you. What's happening here? Why it's slowing up? Okay. Fixed expenses and variable expenses. So fixed expenses are those expenses that once they've been set, and they're usually based on by some contract that you have established. So this is your rent, this is your car payments, this is insurance, this is salaries, property taxes, and leased equipment and loans. So fixed expenses are exactly what they are. There is no change in them unless you're renewing something or creating new contracts for the fixed expenses. Your variable expenses, on the other hand, are things that you have some choice to change, reduce, increase based upon how the production levels of your business. So if all of a sudden you have to, if all of a sudden you need to start to cut back and go lean in your business, which during the pandemic, many of us had to do, it's usually those variable expenses that you can go lean on or cut back or reduce or eliminate. You actually have to go through other steps. If you want to reduce your rent, you obviously would have to downsize the amount of space that you have. Kind of so much set for
it seemed as if Crystal's internet just got frozen. Are you there, Crystal?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay. You're on, Crystal. Go ahead. Can you hear us, Crystal?
Me? I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. General ledger, you might have your CPA or your tax person ask you for a general ledger. This is the the record keeping system that houses your financial data. So the best way that I can explain a general ledger is way back in the day when you guys actually had a checkbook, and every time you wrote a check, you documented the deposits and you documented the expenses, and it kept you abreast of how much money you actually had in the bank. So in an accounting system, that's the same thing. It's a general ledger, and a lot of times your financial your CPA or your tax person will ask you to send them over your general ledger, and that's what they're asking for. Gross income, net profit. So gross income is monies that you earned, as it all is your total earnings, and then profit is after you've deducted your expenses. And so you will hear those terms: gross income, net profit. Liability, you guys know what that is, right? It's money that you owe, and these are current or long, and it can be either current or it can be long-term. So mortgages are long-term, credit cards and so forth are current. Some of you have PPP loans that or some sort of loan that has a 5-year period to it. So we would throw that under current status. Long-term is those that have longer periods of time for you to pay it off. Profit and loss statements, P&L, income statement, those are pretty much all of the terminology that is used for any kind of report that's going to show the person that's asking it how much money you're making and how much money you're spending. So that is a P&L or profit and loss statement. Your ROI, you guys may have heard that terminology as well. And so that's the return on the investment. So you want to know, if I give you money, if I invest money in your business, and it measures what you can expect, or compare to what you put in to what you're going to get back. So pretty much the profitability measure that evaluates the performance of your business, and that's accomplished by dividing net profit by the net worth. How many of you guys have actually done that in your business? We have kids. Rhonda and I actually teach a business course for kids, and part of the program is they have to generate a pitch deck, and at the end of that, they have to be able to calculate their ROI and their break-even points. I have one person, Merla, says she has done that. And Giovanna said, I need to. Okay. Miraculously, if you guys have an accounting system, it'll do it for you. Financial reports. So let's talk about those a little bit. Income statement. So this is what an income statement looks like. It just shows all revenue coming in. I need that kids class. Come on over in the summertime and check it out. Your profit and loss statement is going to show you your revenue. Now, when you generate it in an accounting software, it should, if you set your chart of accounts up appropriately, it should show you every line item that you're generating revenue in, and that you can actually see how much money and how you're doing in any of the products or services that you're selling. That is the way it should be set up. Also, the same thing for your cost of goods. You just don't want big lump numbers, total numbers. You want to see what is going on in that, so that you can evaluate what you need to, if you need to increase or you need to reduce, especially with your expenses. So you want to make sure it's important that your chart of account is set up so that you can get a full detail of what is actually going on in your business. Your balance sheet. I'm sure many of you have been asked this question before. We like to see your balance sheet. So the balance sheet actually is showing the net worth of the business, as well as how well the business is doing. It's a snapshot. So it's showing you what your current assets are, how much cash you have on hand, how much money you have outstanding waiting to to be paid, shows you how much inventory you have and the value of that inventory, shows you any fixed assets that you have. Those are long-term, like investments and buildings and equipment and things like that. And any other asset that you may have. Then it has an area that is for your liabilities. So it basically shows how much you owe, how much money needs to go out to other individuals, and then your long-term debt, and then your owner's equity, which would be whatever you've invested in your company and whatever your return earnings are. And then it shows you the net worth of the entire company. So the overall health of the company. Most people don't have functioning net balance sheets, because most of your assets never get to your balance sheet, and most of your liabilities are not recorded when you're paying down on those loans that you have. Your cash flow is showing you activities from 3 different areas: the operating expenses and money coming in, money going out, any investment activities, money, capital expenditures, and any investments that you may have received. And then, of course, your financing activities, and these are loans that you may have received, or if your company happens to be public, then it also will show any stocks that are being sold or being retained or being diminished, depending on whatever's happening in the stock market. Now, these documents, so we mostly think of financial statements or something that somebody else needs to see. Well, there are financial statements that you, the business owner, needs to see and needs to analyze, because it will help you make better decisions in your business. It will help you grow your business. So the working statements that you should be looking at on a regular basis, at least monthly, is your accounts receivable, your accounts payable, which is money, receivables, money coming in, payables, money going out, sales assumptions, and budgets and forecasting. All of these give you the story about your business. So your sales assumption, you guys, I think Gloria did a fantastic, from what I understand, presentation on pricing your product. So I don't need to go into that in detail, because you guys are now experts, because Gloria is. Your profit and loss statements. If you just started your business, you wouldn't have P&Ls, you would have performance statements, and these are projections for 3 to 5 years of what you anticipate your business capabilities or capacity is, based upon the research that you have conducted. Cash flow statement, we just kind of talked about that. We talked about the balance sheet. So these are these are the reports that someone may ask for, not your sales assumptions, but the income cash flow. The ones that you would be looking at is the periodic statements for aging, aging and how much money you owe, because you can kind of balance out how much money you need to bring in based upon how much money you need to pay out. And then trial balances is usually something that your CPA is going to ask for. Any questions before we jump on over to accounting software tools, which is why you guys are here? You guys good? Okay, all right, then let's just jump right over there. So before I go there, I think most of you've already, there's a question I was going to ask, but I asked it earlier on. How do you track your accounts? And so most of you told me, some of you said QuickBooks, some of you said Excel spreadsheets, some of you use just your bank account, boxes of receipts, and some of you just keep your numbers in your head, right? Let me see. John says, I'm beyond forecast and projection. I'm at actuals now. All right, John, good for you. Okay. So although you still have to do forecasts for next year, right? Or did you forecast for this year on how much money you wanted to make, how much if you wanted to increase your profit margin for this year. So we should always still be in a functional forecasting and budgeting, because that's all part of it. Remember the financial literacy piece. A bank account, all righty. All right. So let's go on and talk about accounting software. And then I'm going to actually walk you guys through some QuickBooks and Wave. Those are some of the softwares that I actually train on. So what is your need? Yes, we want to increase our profits, but we have set rates. Okay. You need accounting software to track the money moving in your business and moving out of your business. You also need an accounting software that has the ability to track your accounts payable and your accounts receivable. You should have a software that connects your bank and your credit card accounts and automatically downloads your transactions, so you're seeing it in real time in your accounting system. If your business is service-based, you may need a software, an accounting software that does project management. If you're selling products, then you definitely need a product that is managing your inventory. Ideally, you would like that software to be able to integrate with other tools that you may need or your CPA may need, such as the tax software that they use. So all they have to do is just go in, have accessibility to your account, and be able to just upload whatever they need. And so again, eliminates it saves them time, and if it's saving them time, it's saving you money. You may also want a system that has a point of sale system. You may want a system that has a customer relationship management system. Some of them even connect with your email systems. In some cases, you don't want, we are under the impression that we don't want a product that does everything for us. But in the case of some of these accounting softwares, you do want everything housed under one umbrella. And I'm going to tell you why that is when I actually take you over and do a walkthrough through the software. But you want to make sure that your program is online, that it can it's cloud-based, and that you have mobile access to your data anytime, any place. You want it to be able to automatically do online invoicing. And since the pandemic took place, we also want that software to be able to allow us to receive payment through the system. That is a really vital thing. Pre-pandemic, most of us would send out our invoices and then we'd have to wait for a check to come through. And then you have to go through the process of going to your bank, depositing that check, and then waiting for it to clear and do all that sort of stuff. But it actually is worth the the 2.75% service fee, merchant fee that you get for that money to go directly into your bank account. The whole idea of this, guys, is not to have to think about this part of your business, not to spend hours on trying to collect your money, when you should be using those hours in order to build and create new business. So that's the importance of having a really good system that you are utilizing and actively utilizing all of the services that it has. The other additional features that you may want it to have is tax integration, as I just said, payroll management, offering you business insights, customized invoices and receipts, even providing you with a payment link if you want to get paid directly from your website or from your social media platforms. It can do all that. A lot of these systems now will incorporate and connect and integrate with any of your e-commerce payment systems like PayPal and I believe in some cases Spotify will connect with Facebook, with QuickBooks. So any of those that you can actually have a smooth and integrated process with your payment systems. I have a client that we had had major problems trying to get Square, right? It will do that. Natasha, we've been having major problems on him getting paid, or the nonprofit getting paid for lessons that he was providing. They had tried everything, putting it a customer relation system where you can send an invoice through them, going to the website and paying directly to the website. None of that was working. The other day, he was the owner was so frustrated. I was like, okay, let's see what we have that's already incorporated with the business that which you're doing. And we discovered that Stripe is a service that we had set up for him, and that we actually could create a payment link. He was over the moon last week because he was able to collect a couple $1,000s in 2 days, where we've been trying to do this for months. And so Stripe connects with the software system, with the QuickBooks, and it's working out perfectly. He's getting paid. He is now a happy camper. You also want multi-user access. And multi-user access is great because if you do have an external bookkeeper, or you have your CPA, they also have access. They don't have to come to your office and come away with big stacks of information. Everything that we do nowadays can be accessible by sending it via Google Drive back to each other, your bank statements, all of that sort of stuff. It saves time. It saves everyone's time. And you, the business owner, can go about doing what you do best, your business. Being able to have unlimited cloud storage, that's really, really important as well. Now, I'm going to pop over to the next one. So there's a difference. Accountants use software that is geared more for taxation, analytics, and things like that, financial planning, internal audits, whereas bookkeepers, we use bookkeeping software. And so that's what we're going to discuss now. QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is a software. As I said a few minutes ago, I've been using this product since they first made the product in 1988. And I've used every version of it. I've used the desktop, I've used the online, I've used the enterprise software. There's not too much that I don't know about this software. When it first started, CPAs and tax professionals no, they were using some other software called Peachtree, which was a nightmare. Now, this software is the software that most financial experts and professionals use. Probably about 97% of the industry is using this software. And the one thing that Intuit, which is the parent company, its main goal is to make sure that it has everything under one roof so that you don't have to go outside of their system in order to provide to be able to deal with your accounting solutions. So this program, the company, and it's true, it will save you about 40 hours a month on accounting tasks. It can be used for, as I said, any type of business, any size business, whether you're self-employed or you are a large corporation, and that you're tracking time, projects, and or inventory. It does come with a price tag though. And so for payroll, Ricardo, payroll systems are pretty much the same. There's no different in the animal. Maybe I hear ADP is a little more costly than QuickBooks and also Paychecks, but pretty much they all operate the exact same way. The best part about QuickBooks payroll is that yes, ADP is only payroll. The best part about QuickBooks Payroll is that it's all integrated in with your system, so that when it goes into the chart of accounts, you don't have to put it in there. You don't have to manually put it in there. It is automatically posted to the right accounts. QuickBooks offers both the desktop, which they're trying to phase out, and the way they're phasing it out is by making it more expensive. It used to be, yes, QuickBooks does payroll and all aspects of accounting. It used to be I could buy a desktop version for $199. For a client I just bought, because they still are using QuickBooks Desktop. I just paid $600. We just paid $649, but you can get it for $5 if there's a special going on. But QuickBooks itself starts anywhere from $25 a month to $150, depending on what you need it for and what you need it for in your business. It does offer you a 30-day trial so that you can learn how to use it. Is that $549 annually or one time? No, it is $549 annually now, because they have gone to subscription if you want to have a customer service. Again, they're trying to phase it out. So that's how they plan on doing it. And also Intuit just bought 3 companies this year. So they've had a major increase in their pricing for the big acquisitions that they did over the summer. Another product is Xero. So Xero was a product that was created for the small business as well, but more for the small business that's in the cannabis industry. And then also in the early days, QuickBooks was a little challenging to use on Mac computers. And so they were meeting the need. They saw a gap in the marketplace and they filled it, but primarily QuickBooks and not too many of the other software will, if you actually are in the production of cannabis, because it's not federally approved, majority of the other companies, you can't use it for that business. But Xero was actually started by the founders are all in Colorado, and Colorado is a big is kind of the mecca for the cannabis industry. Pricing starts about $9 up to $60, depending on the size of your business. It's an online only platform, which most of them are today. And this one is a new in my repertoire of classes that I'm teaching, and this is Wave. So Wave is an amazing software for those freelancers and small micro business owners that don't have can't afford the monthly fee for QuickBooks. But this software is just as powerful as QuickBooks. It's simple to use. It's easy to manage your cash flow. And it gets you ready for tax season, which is what we want. But it also provides you with the same reporting that you would get if from QuickBooks. It's easy. It's a very intuitive software. It doesn't use it uses regular jargon, just like you speak and just like you think. So you don't have to really think hard about where things go, but you do have to have your chart of accounts. Free is always good. Yes, and that's the other best part about it. It is free. The only time you pay for Wave, if you want to receive your payments through when you invoice and you want your payments to be the invoice to be paid through the system, then they're going to charge you 2.75%, which is about what you pay for any of the other e-commerce payment portals now. So that's not a hard I mean, it's a no-brainer if you want to get your money in a timely manner. And also the other service that you pay for is payroll. Wave also has a payroll. So I've been asked this question: how can they do it for free? Well, from my research, this is a Canadian-based company, but the home company is actually an insurance company. And I am sure they got so tired of asking for profit and loss statements and people not being able to produce them that they went through the expense of creating a free software, so there's no excuse for them not to get a P&L from you. And it has always been free for the 10 years that they've been in business, and it probably will always be free because, again, this is not their principal business. So it's free. So now, before we jump over to the actual software, if I were to ask which one is best for you, is the one that you are going to use, is the one that you're going to use using all of the features so that you can maintain your books. So that is what I think. Monique, the payroll is pretty much the same as QuickBooks. I would have to give you have to do my check and see what the pricing is right now, but it's pretty much comparable to QuickBooks, to Paychecks, to Gusto, to all of them. They pretty much are all the same, with the exception of ADP. That ADP is kind of is a leader in that industry. So signing up and being committed to making sure that you are using a software is the best software for you. And not letting it wait and be so bogged down with the complications of using the software that you don't use the software. So it's really, really important that you guys find a software that is affordable and easy to use and allows you to easily track your income and your expenses. Yes, Wave does allow you to invoice, and I'm going to show you both of those in just a few minutes, guys. You also and if the software also provides you with financial statements to give you insight on the health of your business. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it, and I've been sticking with that for 30 years. For those of you that I've actually trained on using QuickBooks. Some of you have been using it faithfully. Some of you have wavered a little bit. Some of you rave about it. I just taught Mary Davids how to use Wave, and she was over the moon. I like that kind of attention when I'm teaching people how to use a software, and she was learning so much about her business. So with that, guys, anyone, I see some questions. Let's see, I don't see any questions. Does Wave allow you? Yes, Wave charges. Okay. Someone found out $26 to $41 a month. I assume that means for payroll. Can you email me on your business camp? Rhonda, can you take care of that? Yes, Wave does allow, let's see, any other questions? And QuickBooks. And yeah, $549 is a little steep for software. I can guarantee you, if you pay that much money, you're not going to use it on a regular basis. Okay. Yes, it does work to manage your income property, Vivian. We just have to set it up so that we have to set up the chart of accounts so it can track it properly. Thank you, Ricardo. All right, so guys, with that, I am going to stop and if anybody want to reach out to me, I am actually a consultant for the Urban League, so you can reach out through me through their system, and we can set up an appointment if you like. I believe I've been asked. We've talked about setting up QuickBooks training, so I am sure after this we will talk about that in more detail. You are welcome, Roxanne. Okay, well, just going over to the Urban League and ask for me, and then they will refer you over to me. So now let's go over to QuickBooks itself. Let me go in for those of you that don't have anything. And if you're using QuickBooks and you do have questions. Oh, okay. All right. That's not Rhonda. Let's see. If you're using QuickBooks and you have some questions, this is a good time to ask me about that. Let me sign into my account. so we can navigate through what it looks like and what it is capable of doing. Hold on, guys. It's a lot of protection here. Okay. All righty, then, Ricardo, I will give you the information for the youth program. You actually can go over to the Urban League to BizCamp and get get whatever you need, and that will so you can sign up your child. Okay. It's a coming. Okay. All right, we're going to use my sample company. My system will look a little different than you guys, is because I use the accountant version. So when you first sign up for QuickBooks, they're going to ask you information about your business. It's going to be very, very important that you answer correctly, because when they do ask you this question, they're building based upon what you are answering, they're going to create your chart of accounts based upon that. So the first thing they're going to ask you for is your company name. If your company's name is different from your legal name, then you will want to use that. You also will use your EIN number. I hope no one's using the Social Security number. Okay. Let's see. I still use QuickBooks desktop, cannot send invoices via. It seems to me to sign up online. Do I not want on? Is it a workaround? Yeah, one of the things, Vivian, that's happening with the desktop, as I said, they're looking to discontinue the desktop. So they're not really offering a lot of customer service anymore for that. But you can download, if you've been using QuickBooks on the desktop, we can back up your desktop information, save it to a CSV and file, and then upload it to an online file. And you will find that the online QuickBooks is really an awesome product. And if you need help doing that, then we can work on that. Can you have multiple accounts? So here's the thing with QuickBooks. You can only have one account for an EIN number. So you can't have multiple accounts with QuickBooks, but you can have multiple accounts with Wave. So it's going to ask you your tax form. If you don't know what that is, you don't need to answer that. But what you do need to answer is the industry you're in, because it starts to create the chart of accounts based upon the industry you're in. You want to make sure that you're using a email address that you that's your primary one, because that's going to be your ID number, as well as your phone number is going to be the ID number. When you have to call QuickBooks, you want to use all the address, put your correct address in, and save all that. And once you do that, it's then going to generate a company file for you. It's a very customizable system. So uploading your logo, your branding colors, all of sort of your branding, so that it represents your business. So when you're sending out invoices to your customers, it's going to reflect who you are. And then this is just the administrative functionalities behind the system. So when you come into QuickBooks, you'll see a design, a matrix that is going to actually, if you follow the way it was set up, it will actually take you to the processes for money in. So money in is adding your products and your services, you're putting your customers there, if you create estimates, it would do estimates. If you do send invoices, that's the next step from creating an estimate. And then once you send the invoice, then you receive your payments when it comes in, and then you record the payments. Money going out is the same thing. You input your bills, and then when you get paid, and you pay your bills through this portal, and there's some other services that it offers you as well. That's getting things done. The business overview is allowing you to see exactly what's going on in your system at all times. It does like a in the moment profit and loss statement based upon however you determine it, whether you want it 30 days or a year or a month or a quarter, and it's showing you monies that have come in, or monies that's been invoiced, and expenses that are come in. Then it shows you how much you've spent on expenses for within that 30 days. And then it gives you, if your bank accounts are connected, which I highly recommend, makes life so much easier, then it shows you what needs to be reviewed, what transactions came in the night before, and you need to go in and review them and put them in the appropriate line items. It's the same thing for your savings, and you can have as many credit card or bank accounts under the that your business has in this one account, and it will track all of them, and you can reconcile all of them. It also gives you a graph on how your sales have gone for that month, based upon the invoices that you plugged in. And then along the sides here, it will give you your dashboard, your banking. These are where the transactions and the functions are, that in order to use the system. I actually do a 4-week class on QuickBooks on how to use all aspects of the system to make sure it's working for your business. And then here you see every transaction that is that's relatable to a customer is found here under new, under a vendor, under employees, and other, which is really more about your company, doing your bank deposits, transfers, inventory adjustments, statements, and paying down your credit card. They're all there for you. Under sales, under banking, you would actually go in, you'd see whatever transactions came in the night before. You would put them in the appropriate chart of, apply them to the appropriate chart of accounts. It also, this is a sample account, so it's not connected. It gives you, if you actually do have your bank account set up, it shows you what your bank balances are in real time, and then what your balance is reflecting in QuickBooks, but it also tells you what you need, how many transactions you need to review so that you can put them in the appropriate places. Shows you the same thing for your savings and any other credit card that you have. You can link your accounts here. And it's pretty simple. So when you go in to look, if you have an invoice here and this amount of money, for this amount of money, $868, and that actually was deposited into your bank account, whether it was electronic or you actually put a check in, then it's asking you, it's saying, hey, we had an invoice here, it's for that same amount, it was deposited. Then you just click match, it will go into your system into the correct place. If it says uncategorized, that means that it needs to be told where you want it to go. And then QuickBooks will intuitively, if it's the same same customer, same invoice, whatever, it will set up a rule, and every time every time it comes in, it's going to apply it to that line item and to that correct chart of account line item. And then you just would do a match, do a match, do a match. And that's really as simple as it is. If it's asking you to review something because it's found several of invoices for that amount, then you just have to review it. make sure it matches what's already in the system, and then you can match it if it's correct, then you match it. And that's pretty much the simplicity of an accounting system, as opposed to going through and typing it on your Excel spreadsheet, going back, taking it off your Excel spreadsheet, checking, marking, all that sort of stuff. This is already here. See, Marcus says, when creating invoices, can you easily add the payment processing fee to the customer's invoice and have the customer cover the payment processing fee without having to do a number of extra steps? Well, I guess yes, you could. Yes, you could. But however, you'd have to definitely let your customer know that you're doing that they're paying for the processing fee. But let me tell you, that processing fee, that merchant fee is actually tax deductible. So if you need tax deductions, then it's all part of doing business, right? So you will get your tax deductions when you do your taxes. So that's a way to look at it as well. Let's see. John says, I reviewed Wave's website and started to sign up, but it offers the same services PayPal through the dashboard. But I've noticed that a lot of people are moving away from PayPal. What's the difference? Yes, it's tax deductible, Marcus. What's the difference is that as a business, PayPal can be used, but you're going to pay the same thing that you would be paying if you were using QuickBooks. So why not use the one software? How do you enter each invoice into QuickBooks manually, or is there software for scanning receipts? Actually, invoices, yes. So let's go over here to invoices real quick. This is a quick little class. So if I was going to create an invoice, you can do it one or two ways. So let's say you have a number of clients. Let's create an invoice. So this is much more detailed when I actually teach you in the 4-week class, because we actually take your expenses and you're setting up your own and working through your own. What's taking so long over here? Hold on a second. What's happening here? Hold on, guys. Okay, let me see if I can get it back. Something happened. Sorry about that. Expensify is, I think that's another product. It's not going to give you all of the services that an accounting system would have. I think it allows you to do invoicing. I'm not sure. But again, a lot of those programs were set up for people who did not want to use an accounting system, but it really behooves you to do that. And including the fact that your QuickBooks payment is also tax deductible. So why would you not use it? What would be the reason not to use it, guys? When everything that you need can be produced in a report and it's a one-step process as opposed to multiple steps. Now, the only reason not to use QuickBooks is that you at this present moment may not be making a lot of money. Your resources are limited. And so you would want to limit the cost, but then you would use Wave. But still doing the exact same thing QuickBooks is doing. I've sent an invoice through QuickBooks, but the fee was taking payments that was too high for me. Okay. So you use PayPal, Javon? Oh, you're using Wave. Well, Wave, so are you accepting payments through Wave? All right, so we're going to create an invoice. Use HoneyBook. Okay. Is HoneyBook a full? Depends on the client. They have that option. Okay. So here we would set up our invoice. You would have their customer information in. You put your terms in. You can send that invoice via email to multiple individuals. You can CC or BC people. You can put the invoice number in. You make sure you have your products already preset. I'm going to do design work. You put whatever your rate is, and then you generate the invoice. So if you were going to actually add on a service fee, maybe that's what you might want to call that, a service fee. And then you could add that service fee in, Marcus, if you wanted to. Can QuickBooks be used for personal finance? No, it was really initially QuickBooks was called Quicken, and it was for personal use. And now it is primarily designed for businesses. But if you're looking for something to track your home expenses, you can use Truebill. You can use Mint, which is also an Intuit product. Those will track your home expenses. So this is one way you can you set up your invoice. And so Marcus, if you wanted to charge that service fee back to your client, then you could incorporate a line item here that would have service fee. You need to explain that to your client as to what that is and whatever that rate is. And then you would charge for the full amount. When they took that amount out, then you would basically offset that payment. Okay. But another thing that QuickBooks allows you to do is set up, let me exit out of this real quick. It lets you set up time. And this is how I do my invoices. So I choose my client. I put my services. I say that it's billable. I put the time, enter the times that I actually saw a client. Not that I would be seeing a client in the middle of the night. I put the description here. It gives me a summary. And then when I go to invoice, that was Emily Platt. When I go to invoice, then that is actually going to be set up. Let me see, Emily Platt. I think that was Emily. Who was that? Not sure that was, but let's go with who I just did that with, because I think they had one. So over here now, I actually have this billable time there. And so if this is for this current month, then it would be already there. If I saw that client earlier in the month, I don't have to remember that client at the end of the month when I'm invoicing or whenever I do my invoicing, it's already there. So again, the whole idea is to minimize the amount of time that you use actually working on your books. So Roxanne says also parent pay one-time enrollment fee for a program that can be done through QuickBooks. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that is. So that's pretty much QuickBooks, guys. Your taxes, you can do your 1099 filings. Your sales tax can be done through here. It will track mileage, and it will give you, I think it gives you close to 65 different financial reports that can be generated, anything from your P&Ls, which we talked about, balance sheets, profit and loss statements, who owes you money. So all your open invoices, your accounts receivable, unbilled time, sales to your customers, people that you owe, it tracks them, your expenses by vendors, sales tax reports, employee reports, accountant reports, payroll reports, you name it. It has some amazing reports, and then you can put together some custom reports, and then it actually puts together this really beautiful overview. I use this for my clients, where it will compile the balance sheets, the profit and loss statements, table of contents, and it's a nice little report. Looks very pretty. Looks like I did a whole lot of work, which I usually have. And then you print it or send it as a PDF to your client. They can then send that over to whomever. So that is pretty much QuickBooks. So let me jump over real quick to Wave, so you guys get an idea. And again, if you are just starting out and you're not ready to assume the monthly cost for QuickBooks, right now they have a major special going on. I think everything is cut in half for 3 months. And then at the end of the 3-month period, then they're going to increase it back to the regular rate. When will I be doing a QuickBooks class? Is Brian Williams on? Brian, when will I be doing a QuickBooks class? I will have to work that out with the Urban League, and I'll let you know, or they will let you know. So Wave, again. Okay, so Wave is an amazing little software. I absolutely love it. If I wasn't already completely committed to QuickBooks, and there's a reason why I recommend the softwares between QuickBooks and Wave to customers based upon what their current needs are. I love both of them. But if you have a company that you have inventory and you're a bigger company and you have the resources to be able to pay the monthly fee, but primarily your company dictates that you need to be on QuickBooks, then that's the product and the service that I will teach you on, train you on. If you are just starting out and we just need you to use an accounting software, then Wave is the one. So just like QuickBooks, it looks very much the same. You will see cash flow. Let's see this company. I have, you actually could use it for payroll. Let's use this one. Not this one. I think I have some things in here. Come on. You can have as you can see, you can have as many as many companies as you want under this one banner. It will do the same thing. It will give you at a glance the dashboard. It will show you how much is due. It will show you, it will walk you through. It's pretty simple. You need to add a customer, a vendor, customize your invoices. It speaks in language that you understand. Then down here, it will give you a nice breakdown. Does Wave or QuickBooks integrate workers' comp payments into their system? Are you doing workers' comp as your standalone insurance and you get the bill and then we record it as workers' comp, or is it integrated with your payroll? And if it's in your payroll, then we just have to break it down. It does sales just like QuickBooks. The only difference that they use, or this has, is they actually have checkouts. And checkout is that link that you can add to your website for your website specifically for a product or service that you're using. So it's kind of like an e-commerce payment system here. So you add a credit card and your customers can pay you online, but you actually can create this link without any coding and actually put it on your website. And then it comes directly into the accounting system and not through any other pay portals. You have, so that's sales. And then purchases is money going out of your business. So it's the same thing. Accounting, you have your reconciliation. One other aspect about Wave that QuickBooks is not quite there yet if you've been monitoring your accounting system and doing daily or weekly work in it, making sure that you're invoicing, you're matching payments, you're matching and doing a week to week or day to day reconciliation, that at the end of the month, when it's time to reconcile, you'll go through the process to reconcile your bank account, and it will say you put in the ending balance from your bank account, and it'll say, oops, we're already reconciled. So you don't even have to do the reconciliation. You just have to go through the step of just putting in the ending balance on your bank account. If everything has gone into the system the way it was supposed to, then it does a self reconciliation. So that's another good little feature that it has. All of these, it will do the same cash flow, bank balance sheets, profit and loss statements, sales tax, payroll statements if you're doing payroll through them, income by your customers, purchases by your vendors, and account balances. So it does the same reporting that QuickBooks does. Again, it's not too much, and it integrates with a number of other products. Let me see if it pops up. So if you're using any other products, it will through Zapier. It will connect your Square or your Stripe or your Shopify, so that it actually will register and log in through into your Wave accounting system. It does some integrations with Calendly. So if you set up and you have clients that pay you, prepay you before they schedule their appointments, then it will create an invoice on account through your Calendly, or if you're learning Accurately scheduling. So if that's the way you do business. And then it also connects through does an integration with your CRM systems and email marketing and event marketing. So if anybody's paying for any events that you're doing, it can all set it up. So I believe they have about 650 different integrations. And that is pretty much it, guys. So does anyone have any questions for me?
Well, I see some questions here. Let's see what it says. Vivian said, will it work with income property? Vivian Bowers.
Yes, both QuickBooks and Wave will both. We just have to set it up to customize it the way she wants to see her reports.
Okay, good. And then there's something here from Tiona Johnson. It says, I feel that my business is too small to use a system. Should I just do it by hand? No. I know what Crystal is going to say, and I'm echoing it. No.
Tiana, it is good when you're small, it's good to get in the practice. So when you become bigger, it's a second nature. It's not something you have to think about. So just mainly, are you invoicing anyone? And are you receiving payments from people? And are you paying any expenses that you need to keep track of? So if you have yeses to all of those questions, then know your business is not too small for an accounting system. You are so welcome, Cherie. I see Courtney had another question. No, Dale, does QuickBooks have all the same integrations? Yes, they do, Dale Richardson. How are you, Dale? How are you? I haven't seen you. Saw your beautiful grandbaby, though, on Facebook. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone using QuickBooks that have had some challenges and you want to ask me? I have a nonprofit and their website takes PayPal donations. Can that be changed if I obtain QuickBooks? Yes. Yes. You actually can incorporate QuickBooks. You can integrate PayPal in QuickBooks. I don't think they're doing it with Wave any longer, but you can incorporate it in QuickBooks and monitor it there. So when is my day booked for? Well, Natasha, you have to let me give you my calendar, or if Bonnie's on, I think Bonnie's on. You can reach out to Bonnie Jeter Thomas and she will refer over to me. But if you just before you leave here have to have an appointment, let me log into my Calendarly and I will give you a date.
So Crystal, there are a few people in the chat giving you much respect and a lot of praises. They're saying, great job, great presentation. You did very well. You clarify some things for them. And that's kind of what we want to do here, is to clarify and, you know, keep you guys in the open so you know what's going on.
So Elle, should you have a team, an accountant, bookkeeper, and use QuickBooks? Yes, but we can teach you how to use QuickBooks. You can eliminate the bookkeeper until you grow bigger, and then you will need a bookkeeper. But the accountant is there to help you make better decisions for your business. That's what the accountant's for.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
This is great. This is great.
So
thank you, my co-host.
You are so welcome. So hopefully, Gilbert asked me, was I going to give you guys homework? Yeah, the only homework that I'm going to give you, if you're not using some sort of accounting system, then make sure you reach out to me and schedule an appointment and we can get you started. That would be my only, although I can't get into my calendar, I don't even know what that is. Here's whoever it was, reach out to me and I will make sure you get a link to schedule an appointment. So that would be my homework to you guys is, if you have questions, if you need to set up your accounting system and you want training, you can reach out to me, schedule an appointment, and hopefully I will have a date for when I'm going to do QuickBooks classes. All right. You are so welcome, all of you. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, my co-host. This is wonderful. Now you guys see what we talk about on our show on Fridays, right? That's exactly what we cover. It's like you guys are getting another class. So thank you, Crystal.
And there was a couple of people that want to be on the show, Gilbert. So
yeah, I
John
saw
Banks and Rhonda. Not Rhonda, it's actually Michelle.
Yeah, I saw that. So but I'm sure there are more of you who are interested in being on a podcast. So you guys just put it in the chat or send us an email and we'll be able to have you guys on the show so you can help to promote your business some more, because that's what it's all about, promoting your business so you get to reach more clients, more customers. So I'm going to put some things in the chat right now. There's about 5 people here who participating in this program for the first time. So you will need to register in the Urban League platform. So I'm going to put some info in the chat so you guys can go ahead and register. So let me get to the chat real quickly.
Somebody was asking for the link. Just go to YouTube and do a Google search on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you will get to our channel.
Excellent. So in the chat, I put how you guys can register, right, with the Urban League, because you're going to need to register. Just remember this. We provide grants. We provide assistance in getting loan, access to capital, these workshops, SBA workshops. So I'm putting a contact number in the chat, which is Bonnie Thomas Jeter's contact information. That's her phone number. Her phone number is 213-453-9935. And there's a link after that. That's the link you click on and register in the Urban League's database. Now, once you register in that link, there is another link that you need to have access to in order to register for your assessment. Because just so you know how this works, when you enter the Urban League, we do two things. We have you register in our database, so we have your information and we can reach out to you, notify you when there's programs going on. And then we want to do a business readiness assessment to make sure that you guys are actually ready, or if not ready, then you're close to readiness. And anything, let's see, it says, okay. So anything that any one of you that's not really ready, then by taking the assessment, it will tell us how much help you need, how much work we need to do with you. So it's not a good thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you score low in the assessment. It's a good thing, because if you score low, then it means, okay, we need to do this amount of work with you and we can structure it. One of the questions may ask you about financials, and you may say, oh, don't know what financials is, never even looked at it before. So then now we know we got to schedule it with Crystal. So Crystal can talk to you about your finances, your cash flow, and all of that. So here is a link for Small Biz Pro for your business readiness assessment. That's in the chat. And also a link and a phone number to Bonnie Jeter, so you guys can reach out to her and get registered in the system, okay? It's a very simple and easy process, so we want to make sure it's as painless as possible for all of you guys. Now, last week when we did our class, we went over certifications. We went over the hub zones, and many of you needed to plug your emails, your zip codes in the hub zone to see if you're in a hub zone ready zone, so you can participate in the certifications. I still want you guys to do that. Some of you have, some of you haven't. I still want you guys to do that, because it's an opportunity for you guys to get a contract, to get awarded money that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to be awarded if you were just doing transactional business with your regular customers. So we want to make sure you guys are ready for those things. Okay. Now, next week is the last class, and next week we're going to talk about procurement and contracts. So I'll be facilitating that workshop. I'm going to give you guys some links throughout the workshop that you guys can go to for opportunities, contract opportunities, but we're also going to make sure you guys are contract ready. So part of what we will do is to also do a contract readiness assessment with you. So I'm going to put that link in the win. I'm hoping you guys are copying these things in the chat, okay?
Well, actually, Gilbert, if they do the three little dots on the side of the chat next to the smiley face, they can save the chat and onto their own computer when computer when the program is over.
Tell them again, Crystal. Tell them again.
So if you go to the chat, guys, the three little dots next to the smiley face, you can click that, and then it will pop up or will show up, and it will say save the chat. And you can save the chat. And
excellent.
Then it will show on your computer when it will ask to be saved on your computer. So Antonina said that I don't have the three dots. You guys don't see the dots? I see the three dots. Okay, so if you don't have the dots, then you actually can save. Just go in and do a highlight and save everything in the chat, and then do a copy paste.
Yeah.
Control C. And then open up a Word document, and then Control V, and just drop it in there.
Excellent. Excellent. So guys, this link I just put in here, this is a contract readiness link, and this is at the Small Biz Pro website. Now, I want to show you guys something real quickly, because I want you to understand that a lot of what Crystal is telling you guys is so helpful to your small business, and the tool that the Urban League is paying for you to use, the Small Biz Pro platform. This is an amazing platform that's going to make your life easier based on the things Crystal is telling you. So I'm going to go in and show you guys something real quickly, really quickly. So let me show you this. Let me share my screen so you guys can see that. Every one of you should have access to this platform, Small Biz Pro. That's why you're doing the registration on the link that I just put in the chat. That's why you're contacting Bonnie. That's why you're attending these classes, to make sure you get all the tools you need. Now, once you're registered, you will receive a link, and I'll put that link in the chat again for this platform. This is your back office, okay? This will help you guys to have all your documents in one place. Your financials, you're gonna upload all your financial documents, everything Crystal just talked about. So when you log into Small Biz Pro, to the far left, this blue banner, the first one that says Business Management, you go down to Cash Flow Management. When you go to Cash Flow Management, look at that. See that? That's your back office right there. Every one of you will have a back office looking just like this. Now, Crystal talks about ways in which you guys can be ready, be loan ready. Okay, we're gonna click on this third tile right here that says Business Financial Ratios. See this? All you got to do, or have your bookkeeper do, is put the information from your balance sheet right here. So the information is going to be your assets, your liabilities, and your owner's equity information. That's on your balance sheet. Once you plug it in, it will automatically tell you guys what your ratios are. These ratios are what lenders look at to see whether or not you're loan ready or not. Okay. Now, once you plug this data down below, it automatically create the ratios for you. So you don't even have to do it yourself. All of this is in Small Biz Pro, all of this. Now, Crystal is also talking about chart of accounts and all of those things. If you don't know much about it, here, look at this. You scroll down, right? Scroll down, you got templates and sample documents. These are all sample documents that can help you guys to understand what chart of accounts are. If you want a 4-year projection, you can go right here to item number 2 and click the blue button that says download, and you got it. You got your financial ratio. This is a chart of accounts right here, number 6. See that? That's a template. You got budgets in here. See that? You got nonprofit budget and you got for-profit budgets in here. So you've got a lot of financial information in here that you guys can use to become, I would say, more complementary, or be a more consistent business owner, knowing what's going on in your business. Many of you are going to hire bookkeepers to take care of the financial needs of your business, but you too got to understand what they're doing. You got to understand what they're putting on those financials. You know, and going to these classes with Crystal will explain to you what to look for. So you want to know what you're reading on those financial, what's on the balance sheet, what's on the profit and loss. Why are only those things on the profit and loss? Why are only those things on the balance sheet? You know, those are things that this system and this process is designed to help you with. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. Now, last week, Tuesday, was March 15th. Your taxes were due to the state, your business taxes. If you're a corporation, C Corp, S Corp, or LLC, your $800 was due to the state of California last week. So I'm hoping that all of you guys who are LLCs, C Corp, S Corps, you were able to make that deadline last week. Otherwise, you're going to owe the state money. Then they're going to add penalties and late fees to that. So a big reason why the Urban League provide you guys with this platform is so you won't miss any of those deadlines, because this system sends you notification 90 days before those things are become due or documents are expired. All right. So all of this put together, everything we're doing for all of you guys is just to make sure you're successful. You don't miss a beat. You know, a lot of you missed the PPP and the idle loan back in 2020. We don't want you guys missing any of those again. Crystal and I did a great job back in 2020, helping a lot of you guys be prepared for either the idle, the PPP, or grants that were out there. But that was just some of you. A lot of you missed the boat because you didn't have your documents in place, so you didn't get a PPP loan. You didn't get an idle, you didn't get a grant because the documents were not there. We don't want this to happen again. So guys, please make sure you use this. If there's any of you on this call that don't have this platform and you're not using this as your back office, you need to contact me so I can guide you. I can help you guys walk through the process. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat so you guys can log in and register on this platform. So let me stop sharing. And I'm going to go here in the chat. And I'm going to give you for free registration. In Small Biz Pro. There you go, smallbizpro.net/join. It's important that you guys put the word join. Many of you on this call did not put join, and the system asks you for money. You got to follow the instruction, guys, please. Make sure you put smallbizpro.net/join, and it will let you in for free. It will let you use the system for free. Then once you register, send me an email and said, hey, I'm registered in the SBA Navigator program. I just registered for Small Biz Pro. Can you extend my license, my user license, and I'll extend it for you guys for a year, for 2 years. I'll extend it for 2 years. So this platform will be good for 2 years for you. The Urban League is paying for it. Okay. So that's pretty much what I want to say about it. Crystal,
I am good. It's been a pleasure, everyone. I think, Gilbert, there was a question there from Elle for it's asking her to pay $79 on Small Biz Pro site. So I think you may, yeah.
Yeah, Elle, I think you didn't follow my instruction, Elle.
So Gilbert, they're saying they didn't get the link. So can you put the link back in?
Yeah. I'm not buying that for a second because every week I put it in this window. So Elle, I love you a lot, Elle, but I'm not buying that. I instructed you guys, smallbizpro.net, join, okay? That is free. So if you didn't put the join, then, sorry. So if it's asking you for money, then you just gotta send me an email. We'll back you out of that account, and then we'll have to re-register you in a different account. It may ask you to use a different email or a different company name. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but just send me an email and I'll help you guys, okay? Sorry, Elle.
All right.
As you guys know, next week will be my last class and my last week at the Urban League. So you guys want to get as much as you can out of me before I go. So please follow the instructions and do it right, okay? Do it right. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you copy all of these links out of here, okay? And if you guys want to be on the show with Crystal and I, any Friday from 3 to 4:30, promote your business, send us an email. Crystal, did you give them your email?
I did. I can put it again.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Bashir. Here's my email again. Uh-oh. Okay, I think that's correct. Okay, there you guys go.
Okay, so that's Crystal's email, and this is my email. You guys contact us. We'll get you guys on the show and promote the heck out of your business so you guys can generate some money, okay? So with that being said, I want to thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank my super co-host, Crystal, for a wonderful presentation, as usual. You want to say some last words there, Crystal?
Thank you all for being so kind. I loved all of the comments, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed the presentation. And if I can be of help, just reach out to me. You have my contact information. If you didn't copy it down, go anywhere on the internet and type my name in, and somewhere in there I'm gonna pop up. So at Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, the Business Zone. You can join me every Thursday with the community briefing. So if you guys want to check out and find out what's going on in the community and where the money is firsthand, you can I can send you, I can invite you to that presentation, that podcast as well. Vivian says we two are an awesome duo. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you all. And just remember this. This is one thing that Crystal and I, first of all, Crystal and I were super consultants, right? And what does that mean? We go above and beyond to help our clients. Every time you guys attend any of our class or any of our presentation or even be on our show, what we do is we have you guys leave with something. We give you something, just like Crystal just gave you these great nuggets of resources on Wave or QuickBooks or whichever one of those platforms. The same thing we do. Same thing we do. We give you guys resources, that's free resources that you otherwise wouldn't have access to. Next week, we're doing procurement and contracts. I'm going to have a lot of resources for you guys. Remember, I told you guys the County of Los Angeles has 37 different departments, and each department needs your services. All of you on here, the county has services that you guys need to supply them, provide them products or services. So I'm going to give you the link to their contracting officers next week. So be on this call next week. Bring your friends, bring any other small businesses that you think might benefit, okay? So look forward to see you guys. We're a little after 7. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. And Crystal,
I'm out. I'm going to eat.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, bye, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one.